Dharma, much like Brahma or Ishwar, is vast and boundless, transcending both beginning and end. Dharma is essentially an attribute of Brahma. Just as you cannot separate sun from its light, you cannot separate Ishwara from Dharma. Understanding Dharma is complex because it truly transcends the intellect. However, our enlightened Rishimunis and the Mahasiddhas of Himalayas have provided us with a simple explanation of Dharma. The primary purpose of Dharma is to elevate human life to its highest and the most perfect state. When a person is born on this planet, how should they live their life? How can their life be filled with joy and bliss? How can they truly experience their existence on the planet? And ultimately, how can they live out to their full lifespan and return to their original state? Dharma is the first step in creating an ideal civilization and society. Dharma not only imparts virtues like truth, sacrifice, compassion and non-violence, but also instills moral values that inspires a balanced conduct between the material and the spiritual worlds. However, the same Dharma which constantly strives to make human life noble, to create exemplary individuals, godlike humans, eventually begins to decline while serving humanity. Dharma moves forward with truth and justice, but this civilization is barbaric. Here, following the principle of big fish eats the small fish, we rob, we tear apart and we exploit each other. We fail to grasp the essence of Dharma and instead mistake sects, creeds and doctrines propounded by various individuals as religion and begin to follow them. And this leads to conflict. Conflict between civilizations where we seek to rob, dominate and exploit one another. Dharma that was given by the Mahasiddhas, the Rishimunis and by Ishwara himself when he incarnated among us, that very religion is now in decline. But how?
Hindu Dharma, with its profound wisdom and spiritual richness, has always been a beacon of light, guiding humanity towards peace, tolerance, and harmony. Mahasiddha Ishaputra says that the ignorance within humanity, the ignorance of remaining divided in sects, the ignorance of not knowing true Dharma, is causing chaos throughout the world. The religions that have mushroomed in the past 2000 years are creating such a commotion that no one is interested in knowing the real essence of Dharma. Their only aim is to establish themselves, and in doing so, they employ any means necessary, whether fair or foul. They descend to such depths of sin that they even resort to terrorism. In such a scenario, the Dharma that speaks of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which promotes brotherhood, teaches that the same divine essence dwells within every being, that encourages awakening the God within oneself, finds itself under threat. because the ego, malice, and the five vices within humans become so dominant that they lead people to commit heinous acts. Killing others, hanging them upside down after death, setting fires, looting, committing sexual assaults, showing no mercy even to women and children, and attacking in cowardly groups. These demonic and terrorist activities are spreading like wildfire across the world. In such a situation, can Hindus survive? Will the Hindu philosophy, which seeks to bind the entire universe in a single thread, survive? Will the Hindu ideology, which gives equal respect to both believers and the non-believers, survive? Will the Hindu thought, which accommodates hundreds of ideas and respects each other's beliefs, continue to exist? Today, we witness devastation across the globe, and even now, Hindus are being attacked. Yet, despite this, Hindus remain ever ready, with open arms, to welcome everyone, saying, "Come, sit with us, take whatever we can offer you." But in return, they are met with death and dishonor. Today, Hindus have no nation to call their own. So where can Hindus go? How can they protect themselves? And if they need protection, who will come forward to protect them?
In the world, differences arises because of sects or when individuals start their own traditions. The followers of these traditions or sects often lack a proper understanding of them or do not grasp the true essence of religion. If you look at the Sanatan Dharma, if you look at the Hindu Dharma or you may call Siddha Dharma, they all center around the concept of Dharma. But we fail to search for that Dharma. Other religions do not talk about the essence of Dharma. Instead, they focus on heaven, they focus on hell or attaining God or reaching Allah. However, Dharma itself is a manifestation of Ishvara. So in Hinduism, we also speak of merging with Godhead. But first, we emphasize embodying the qualities of Brahma. Heaven and hell will continue to exist, but have we made an effort to create heaven right here on this planet? Here we speak of peace, we speak of knowledge and completeness, and that is why Sanatan is the most open Dharma, right? Sanatan Dharma is referred to as Dharma because it is not a religion or a sect. It is not led by one individual. See, currently Kalantak Peeth, in Kalantak Peeth, Mahasiddha Ishaputra is overseeing the entire Kalantak Peeth and the Siddha Dharma tradition of the Himalayas. However, he does not have exclusive control. Before him there was another Kalantak Nath and before that yet another. When any one individual gains exclusive control, it can be frightening, right? And this is exactly what has happened. Non-righteous people have started persecuting Hindus in the name of various sects and religions because they see a threat in the most important system, which is called Sanatan Dharma. Why are Hindus being attacked around the world?
In August 2024, there was a student protest in Bangladesh over reservations and other issues. But the entire protest, which had no connection whatsoever with Hindus, ended in a massacre of Hindus. Thousands of men and children were brutally burned, chopped into pieces with sharp weapons, and stoned to death. Hindu women, including young girls, were mercilessly raped. Humanity seemed non-existent there. Hindu temples were destroyed. Even Hindus hiding in ponds were stoned to death by a mob of these fanatics. Imagine, even in a civilized society, how difficult it would be to watch an animal being stoned to death. But these unrighteous people who lack any humanity and follow a particular sect like religion can be extremely dangerous. This is why Mahasiddha Ishaputra says that until one attains true Dharma, they are like demons. As long as a person is filled with evil thoughts, they are considered malice. And how can we leave this world burning in the hands of such malicious? How can we let people with such an ideology, who are turning this world into a hellish place, take control, making it impossible for righteous people to live? While Hindus are being killed everywhere without any reason, some are fleeing, some are crying, some have lost their entire family, and some are desperately pleading for help on social media platforms. But Mahasiddha Ishaputra reminds us that people have forgotten Bhagwan Sri Krishna's teaching. Dharmanyavadikaraste. You have the right to perform your duties. But you neither want to perform your duties nor fight. How will a person who does not struggle for his life stay safe? What happened in Bangladesh is not the first time Hindus have faced such atrocities. This has been happening to Hindus for nearly 1500 years. After realizing that their death was certain, the Hindus in Bangladesh came out on the streets unitedly and started pleading with the world for protection. But sometimes you cannot protect yourself just by begging. The same thing happened in Kashmir. Hindus kept pleading for their protection, but the fanatics wiped them out completely. Same is happening in other states of India as well. But just like an ostrich buries its head in the sand when it senses danger, so that it cannot see the threat, governments are sitting like ostriches. Similarly, Hindus are being massacred in many parts of the world, but governments and the media have closed their eyes. Therefore, Hindus should strictly follow the teachings of an avatari Chetana, such as Mahasiddha Ishaputra. He says that you should have both a strong body and a sharp mind. You should have a high education and knowledge of Dharma. Without these, there is no way for Hindus to survive.
Being a Mahasiddha of Himalayas or a follower of Sanatana Dharma essentially means believing in the philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the concept that entire world is our family. This philosophy, which the Vedas, the Puranas and the scriptures have ingrained in us since childhood, teaches that entire earth is our family. Mahasiddha Ishaputra goes even further, saying that not just this earth, but entire universe is ours. Everything in the universe is connected to us. Therefore, whatever happens in the world is related to us. If anyone in the world is crying or shouting, it is connected to us. But the key point is, imagine you are going to embrace someone, showing them love, but they are plotting to stab you. This is why we adhere to Dharma, because within Dharma, all sects, all gurus, individuals and ideologies can be included. However, a single guru, one ideology, one sect cannot encompass Dharma. Therefore, Dharma must be understood with seriousness and depth. Dharma has given space to everyone, but sects, leaders, gurus have taken bits and pieces from it and create their own ideologies, which are the root cause of conflict. And even today, we are unable to return to that original Dharma. But we can only return to that original Dharma if it still exists or if it survives. All the sects and religions are attacking it, targeting the true religious, true Dharma gurus who understand Dharma, trying to tarnish their image so much that people won't approach them. Because if people stop going to these gurus who are the source of understanding of Dharma, Dharma itself will fade away. Before I talk about religions, heretics or foreign forces that are trying to destroy Sanatana Dharma, we need to recognize the hidden wolves within our own Sanatana Dharma. Take Ravana for example. Ravana possessed many virtues. He was knowledgeable about Dharma, he performed rituals and prayers, and most importantly, he was not a nigura, means he was not without a guru. He was a devoted disciple. Bhagwan Shiva himself became Ravana's guru. But despite all this, Ravana remained a demon. He even conquered gods, which means he was brave, he was mighty. He performed intense penance. He offered his head 10 times to Bhagwan Brahma, making him a great ascetic. He wrote commentaries on the Vedas, and the Shivatandav Stotra he composed is still sung today. Yet despite all this, he remained Ravana the demon. The point is that some people are inherently unrighteous. They may outwardly cloak themselves in Dharma, claiming to be a Hindu, saying, see, we go to the temples, we celebrate festivals, we have a temple at our home, an altar at our home for worship. But these same people will be seen slandering Dharma gurus, tarnishing their reputations and saying, look, that guru is wrong. I have seen it myself. They will label the guru as fraud, saying the guru is wrong, the ashrama is wrong, the tradition is wrong. But upon investigation, you will find that they themselves are the frauds.
The Ramayana is read in every household. Today, there is hardly any corner of the world where people are unaware of its tales. Ravana was the son of the rishi Vishrava, but his mother was a Daitya, because of which he inherited his mother's tamasic, dark qualities. Mahasiddha Ishaputra says, it's important to note that while the Ramayan's narrative is deeply embedded in Hindu Dharma, perhaps you haven't paid close attention to his character. Ravana was also a Hindu. He wasn't a Vidharmi or Malice. Today within our Hindu Dharma, there are many such Ravanas, changing their faces, are harming this Dharma. There are numerous Ravanas within our homes, yet people deny this. Just as Ravana was immensely powerful, there are many influential individuals within our Dharma. Ravana's sharp intellect was widely praised. He was knowledgeable in matters of Dharma, and Bhagwan Shiva himself was his guru. Despite having Shiva as his guru, Ravana remained deceitful. Merely stepping into Shiva's shadow can liberate a person. Yet even with Shiva as his guru, Ravana remained a Daitya. A person who is unrighteous at heart remains so, no matter which guru they approach. They even bring dishonor to their gurus. Consider Ravana's cleverness. During the episode where he tried to lift Mount Kailash, and Shiva pressed it down, trapping Ravana's hands beneath, he immediately composed the Shiva Tandava Stotram, praises to please Bhagwan Shiva, and received powerful weapons like Chandrahas in return. In this world, there are people who, when the time comes, change like Ravana and start speaking sweetly. But deep within, their mindset harbors a hidden Ravana. This proves that if someone claims to be a Hindu, performs rituals, and has a guru, it doesn't necessarily mean they are genuinely Hindu. They might be a Ravana-like Hindu who is an enemy of Dharma. Ravana was an ascetic, but ultimately he was unrighteous. How can our Hindu Dharma be protected when uncountable number of Ravanas are roaming within it? These Ravanas are so cunning and eloquent that to divert attention from their own crimes, they point fingers at others, being Kal-names themselves, yet labeling others as such. They even operate by forming organizations. These are the very Ravanas for whose destruction Narayana incarnates as Ram. If there is a Ram within all of you, then you must identify these Ravanas and eradicate them completely.
As long as such people remain hidden within our own Sanatan Dharma, and you remain unaware of them, how will you not be harmed? How did Indian kings become slaves to the Mughals so quickly? The main reason was that they went to the battle with full confidence that they were united, only to have someone from their own ranks betray them. Indulging in wine, engaging in vices and selling out to the Mughals in a few gold coins. Don't you see a similar threat to the Hindu Dharma gurus today from the traitors hidden within Sanatana? Haven't you seen on the social media how people mock gurus, saying this guru's ashrama is so luxurious, they have expensive cars, there are so many boys and girls around him? and particularly the girls. They highlight the presence of girls to make other women see the gurus as criminals, deterring them from approaching the gurus. Don't you notice a fixed pattern in the accusation against religious gurus? All of them accused of sexual harassment. Someone is trying to distract you by showing these things. All these people are unrighteous, trying to divert your attention from Dharma by portraying Dharma gurus in a negative light. Every unrighteous person will claim, we are the most religious of all. What do these gurus know about Dharma? Come, learn from us what Dharma truly is. You will find such people everywhere, and you can recognize them at a glance. They are unrighteous, yet they claim to be dharmic. So when we talk about fighting against unrighteousness, against the ungodly forces that roam both domestically and internationally, spreading their deceit across the world, shouldn't we first look at the traitors hidden within our own houses? When these unrighteous people argue, no, we are the true believers in Dharma. Look, this is our guru, we belong to this tradition, we have our own temple. We should remember that thousands of such so-called believers are spread throughout the country. Aren't there numerous people in the country who commit wrongs in the name of Bhagwan Shiva? We must recognize that this vast army of Ravanas eating away at our Dharma from within like termites. They will completely destroy true Dharma. And before Dharma is entirely destroyed, the scholars of Dharma, the sons of Sanatana must awaken. They must come forward, take Dharma into their own hands and with firm resolve protect it. Will they come only when everything is lost? When Hindus are wiped off from the face of this planet? Who will then be left to proclaim the all-encompassing and liberal Dharma that says the entire world, the entire universe is ours? Who will say Atithi Devo Bhava? Who will say Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha? Who, like Bhagwan Krishna, will say fight against unrighteousness? Who will teach us the path of Karma Yoga?
Observing the situation in Kashmir, Bangladesh, other states of India, and events in other countries, Hindus have come to realize one thing: if they remain divided, they will be defeated. Therefore, efforts to organize have begun, and Hindus are now starting to unite. But this unity only lasts as long as the crisis does. Once the crisis passes, the same complacency sets in. A person who thinks about the future and has foresight can never afford to be careless, because danger never truly goes away. In this universe, danger is ever present. And as long as there are tamasic tendencies, malicious, deceitful people, unrighteous individuals, and hypocrites in this world, you are never truly safe. So never think that unity is only necessary when danger arises. When the massacre of Hindus in Bangladesh began, it was only then that Hindus realized that to survive, they must stay united. Today, we all stand with the Hindus of Bangladesh, but simply standing together is not enough. The Hindus of Bangladesh must remember that today, when we are standing with them, tomorrow, if such atrocities happen to any Hindu anywhere in the world, they too must unite and stand with them. We are ready to assist the Hindu of Bangladesh in every way possible. In fact, it's not just about Bangladesh. If any Hindu anywhere in the world faces oppression, Mahasiddha Ishaputra says that we are their protectors and we will make every possible effort to safeguard them. It is heartening to see the Hindus of Bangladesh united today, demonstrating their courage, strength, and valor to the entire world. A few days ago, in one of his addresses, Mahasiddha Ishaputra mentioned Hindus need to make the world aware of their strength. The Hindus of Bangladesh are moving in this direction. The world is watching them, and impact of the unity is now becoming evident. Hindus should learn from this that many will try to sow discord. There will be Ravanas among you, disguised as Hindus. But be vigilant, recognize them, maintain your unity, keep moving forward, and remember the ancient saying, Yato Dharma Tato Jaya, means where there is righteousness, there is victory.
The Siddhas of Himalayas say that if humanity is to be saved, Dharma must be preserved in its original form. See, we have two types of enemies. One is the outsider, those who follow some kind of religion or sect, but they are our known enemies, right? Right? But the other is the one who, like us, wears a tilak, ties a sacred thread, celebrates all festivals, distributes sweeps, drapes themselves in clothes inscribed with Om Namah Shivaya mantra and gives sermons on religion, but is actually unrighteous. So how will we recognize them? This is why we need to awaken, to understand true knowledge and tradition, which will lead you back to original Dharma. Why is the name of Himalayas mentioned repeatedly? Because the Himalayas have preserved the true Dharma and its traditions. That is why the Siddhas of Himalayas are considered supreme. Which great sadhu, which great Mahatma or the Rishimuni hasn't performed penance or practiced austerity in the Himalayas? There must be something in the Himalayas, right, that gives it such divinity. Bhagwan Shiva himself resides on Mount Kailash in the Himalayas. The Himalayas and its Siddha Dharma are extraordinary. But these enemies are external. There is a third enemy, and this is ourselves. Trapped by our own desires, anger, greed, attachment, and ego filled with our own desires and passions, we destroy our own people out of ignorance and foolishness. This is why Dharma cannot advance. And this is why today the empire of unrighteousness seems to be visible everywhere.